All right, everyone. Once you have all of your main floor walls done, or any walls for any floor level that you're trying to create, um, whether it be a single floor item like a cottage or a multi-story building, once those floors are created, then you are in a position to start creating floors, the actual floor systems. In this particular case, I have a single floor, and what I want to do is I want to be able to add a floor underneath this particular these walls that I've created. Reason why we have to do the floors after the fact, obviously, is because we use the perimeter of our footprint of our structure to create the walls that we're trying to create, or I mean the floors. Sorry. So as with anything, first thing we want to do is we want to create some custom floor types. So if we go up to, in our architecture tab, if we go up to the floor and we click on floor, and we're going to create a floor architectural. You'll notice over here, just as we did with walls, it's the same method, guys. So there's no new mysterious ways of doing things. Really, it's all the same method that we use to create custom wall types. Now we're just dealing with floors. So you'll notice that I have generic floor options here. If I drop my drop-down menu, I have a bunch of different items here that we can work with. I'm not going to go through the specifics of all these, but again, we're going to find one that's pretty close to what we're trying to create for our particular structure. In all cases, what we should be dealing with is um, we'll start with this one here where we have a wood joist 10-inch with a wood finish. Okay, so I'm going to click on that. I'm going to go to edit type. And again, I'm going to duplicate it first. I want to name it something different other than what the base template is in the program. So if I go to duplicate, and I'm going to just call it whatever, my floor, whatever it may be, my floor structure, and we're going to hit OK. And then I'm going to go in here and edit it. So as you see, everything is pretty much the same as what we have for walls. Now when we look at our preview, again, we're looking at this cross section. So this gray is my floor joist. The next layer here is my subfloor, and in this case, we have a finish on top, which they're showing as oak flooring. Now, when we're doing our Revit work, we do not want to have any of our flooring, any flooring as our finished material, because basically all we're doing is the structural component of our floor system, our floor joists and our subfloor. In the case of the Lake Meyer Cottage project, and many of you may or may not want to do this, we also included the actual sill plate. But I'm just going to show you now briefly how to create the custom floor type. So right now we have this structure, wood rafter. So this here we're going to change to a thickness of 9.5 inches. We talked about 2x10s. So using 2x10s, we're going to have a 9.5 inch thickness. This structure here, I'm actually going to move it up. So now it's above my core boundary. The finish, the oak flooring, I'm going to click here and I'm going to delete it. And I have plywood sheathing, and I believe we talked about a 3/4 inch thickness for our plywood sheathing for this project. So we're looking at 10.25 inch total thickness. We're going to hit OK. And hit OK. So now I have my floor structure. In the case of anything on the outside, so exterior decks, porches, whether they're concrete porches, wood decks, whatever it may be, the method's the same. You're going to have to create a custom floor type for that particular item. So what I'm going to do is just demonstrate here what we're going to do, for instance, if it's a deck. So I'm going to go to here. I'm going to go to, I'm just going to use my floor structure. I'm going to edit the type. I'm going to duplicate it, and I'm going to do my exterior deck. Hit OK. Go into edit. And again here, the difference between exterior decks and our regular floors is that we're going to have a structure here. And again, they could be 2x10, 2x8, 2x12s, all again depending on the spans that you're going to have to use. But in the case of most of our projects, we can safely say that we're going to use a 2x8 construction for our exterior wood decks. So in the under thickness here, 2x8 is going to be 7.5. The structure now, we're going to do a wood decking material, whether it be cedar or pressure treated. There are all kinds of things in the market. There's what they call Trex or a composite, so it's made of recycled materials. Which again, if you're looking for something for a sustainable option as part of the requirements of your project, a sustainable feature might be using a product like a composite decking material, which again is made from recycled plastics, and it's something that lasts for a very, very long time. So thus requiring less materials and use of resources in the environment. Any decking material is usually 5/4 inches thick. So I can just type in if I want 5/4. And you'll see it, notice it changed to an 1.25 inches. And again, we can change the material. So if I go here, because it's not going to be plywood sheathing and I want it to have a decking look, what I can do is I can click on the 3 little dots in the square there. I don't think there's necessarily a decking option. So if I right click on plywood sheathing and duplicate, call it wood deck. And then if I go down here to my asset browser, okay, so this is what it currently looks like. So it's picking up that plywood finish look. Go to the asset browser over here, and I'm going to search for wood decking. I don't see anything there, so I'm just going to put in decking, see what comes up. So I'm not finding anything. I'll just type in wood. And again, you'll just kind of go through and try to find something that, might, match what you're trying to look at. And again, guys, as long as you find something that's particularly, might be close, maybe I'll go with the wood paneling here and see what that looks like. So this is more of like a hardwood floor look. Okay, so cedar, here's a good one. So wood horizontal cedar. Nope, not the look I want. So again, just bear with me, guys, while I try to find something in the extensive list of things here. Okay, in the interest of time, I'm just going to, let's go, what's the plank look like here? Wow, I'm just going to use plank for now. I'll see if I can find something later on to add to another quick little tutorial. But again, you're going to find something. What you want to do is try to find something that looks like decking. Maybe even if I go to a siding look, that's what I'll probably do here. So go to siding, guys, and go to horizontal cedar, for instance. I don't know why that keeps coming up that way, because that's definitely not horizontal. Wood horizontal, there we go. So wood horizontal look. So when it renders your deck, it's going to look like it has these deck boards on it. So again, sorry guys for all the length of confusion there. Finding that, I'll hit apply. Again, if you want that to be a different tint, so maybe I want it to be some sort of brownish color. And again, I can add that tint. The tint doesn't show up in this preview. It shows up in this little cube up here. Hit apply, hit OK. So now I have my wood deck structure with the 5/4 inch thickness decking and my 2x8 joists. I hit OK. OK. So now I've created my deck. The other thing that you're going to want to create if you want to create any flooring inside. So again, remember that when we frame our floors, the floors sit on top of our sill plate on our foundation wall. Then the walls of our exterior walls and our interior walls are installed directly on top of the plywood subfloor of our floor system. We do not have our finished floor on until later on in the construction phases, and it's one of the last things that actually gets installed in the building when it's being built. So we have to actually create a floor type for the floor finishes that you want to use in various rooms. You may want to use a hardwood flooring throughout your entire structure on that floor. You might want to have carpets, ceramic tiles, marble tiles, hardwoods. Again, it's all up to you, but you'll have to create those as separate floor types. So when you do a separate floor type, what you're going to do is you're going to go, again, try to find something. Now, the best thing to use, because we're only doing a single layer material, is just use a generic, so generic 12-inch, for instance. I'm going to edit the type. I'm going to duplicate it, and I'm going to say hardwood. Okay, then I'm going to edit it. And thickness of hardwood floorings are always usually, especially with the solid type materials, are usually 3/4 inch. For the ease of everything on this project, whether you have different rooms with different finishes, I'm going to say just create the thickness of all flooring that you're going to create at 3/4 inch thick. At the end of the day, what we usually do in construction is we will, if the hardwood's 3/4 inch and someone's using a tile that's only, say, 1/2 inch thick, a 1/4 inch underlay would be used to bring that ceramic tile up flush with the 3/4 inch material. So whatever the thickest material is, usually there are underlays and materials that are laid down, under pads for carpet, stuff like that, that will raise up the level of the floor to match up with the highest floor level in the structure. And again, we don't have a category here, so again, I'm going to click on this. And again, you're not going to find necessarily a hardwood floor. Oh, we have an oak flooring here, so I'll start with that. So I'm going to right click on this, duplicate, and again, type in my hardwood. And then I'll go to my asset browser, click on my appearance tab so I can see. So right now it's showing like a hardwood floor, oak hardwood floor look right here. I type in hardwood. I go to my flooring appearance. Now I have American cherry, beechwood, brown, all kinds of options. So, I like, let's say I'm going to like the beechwood wildberries. So I'll double click on that. It's a nice dark hardwood. If you like that, again, you can even change finishes. It's got semi-gloss finish, glossy varnish. There's all kinds of looks, and these will all show up really cool, and you can see a larger pattern of this when I put my cursor over there. But when it actually renders, you'll get that glossy look to it, right? So you can change some of these things to suit your needs. I'll hit apply, hit OK. And now I've created a 3/4 inch hardwood. And that is it right there. Hit OK, hit OK. And now you'll notice I have my hardwood flooring floor, I have my exterior deck, and my floor structure. So that is how you create your custom floor types for any architectural project that you're going to create, whether it's a single floor, or it's multiple stories, multiple floors, and obviously creating floor that is different between the structural floor aspects and the finished floor aspects of your building.